Tractor parade. Good morning. New week, same project. Back to work on these tractors. We've got to get them cleaned up. Well, they're clean, but we're going to wipe them down, get the dust off of them, and put that ceramic coating on both of these and get them out of here tomorrow probably. So they are completely done with the maintenance side of it. We've greased them, we've changed oils and filters and done everything that needs to be done from that standpoint. So I just want to put another coat of that ceramic coating, the Armor Shield 9 on, and then we'll be done here. So we are still talking about tires. It looks like probably the 8430 is definitely going to get tires, and I'm not sure about the 8R yet. So we got to figure out exactly what we want to put on it first. Okay, so Brock's washing stuff down with a damp rag, getting the dust off of it. I've got my clay bar and some detailer stuff. I'm spraying them, going over the hood on this tractor, trying to clean it up real good before we put that ceramic on. We'll do this, then we'll wipe it down with some rubbing alcohol, and then get that coating out. And yeah, hopefully we can get these done here this morning. All right, so I got both of these hoods clayed. I found some stuff that's cause for concern over here. So these 30 series John Deere tractor hoods are notorious for cracking. And you can't see it very good because cameras. But we got some cracks starting there. Kind of goes from right here out to about right there. And then there's another one that comes to about right there. I don't know that there's much I can do about it, but it's there. And then over here on the other side, I noticed one right here. We've got a crack. It goes up to about right there. Trade it. It's junk. Just trade it. Okay, so I've got Brock up there on top of the tractor doing the cab. Top of the cab, yeah. We're using that spray-on ceramic stuff. I am wiping tractors down with some rubbing alcohol. He's doing his best he can to reach everything. Yeah. How's it look up there?
Not as good as the hood, but it's getting better.
Yeah. I'm doing this for you guys on YouTube, right? Everybody always complains, don't wax the top of the cabs because you can't get to them. There's no way to put wax on there and get it wiped off efficiently. Now this spray-on stuff, it goes on a little easier. All you do is spray it and then kind of get a rag to run over it, so you can spray it out there and then throw a rag on it, close enough. All right, now back to this stuff. We may actually finally get my second kit used up, so I got one more, but we'll see how far this one goes. What do we think? Looks pretty good. One thing about this John Deere paint that's different than the car that I did the other day, it's textured. You can see that in the light reflections there. It's not super smooth, which makes it a little bit more difficult to get that really nice shine that you hope for, but it does look really good. So that one is done. I've basically, that second kit that I've been working on is pretty well gone, so I'm gonna have to open up my third one. We'll do this hood, and then I'll need to rub the rear fenders down with some rubbing alcohol, and we can do those. You can tell the difference here. So on this tractor, the 8430 last year, I ceramic coated the hood, but I waxed the rear fenders, and look at the difference in the quality of the paint and how much this is faded. I should get my buffer out and fix that. I'm not going to. We're just going to put the ceramic coating on it. We'll see if it makes any difference or not. But it should look more like that one. That one I put the ceramic on the fenders as well, and that's where it shines, is it kept the paint from oxidizing and fading. So that's why I decided to use this stuff again, give it a second coat, and who knows, maybe with a little bit of it left from last year, it'll keep layering and the water will beat up a little bit better as we go on. So anyway, that's, yeah. I wanted to show you the difference I get just wiping this stuff on. Look at it. Wow. And the thing is, it's not just because it's wet. Like, when you wipe it off, that's how it stays. Did the fenders over there. Now let's do this one. I'm going to set you guys up somewhere so you can watch, and we'll see how much this stuff makes that come back to the right color green and shine. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that's pretty awesome, isn't it? Nice. Well, after we buffed it off, it certainly is better. It's still a little faded, but not too bad. All right, so the ceramic is on all the tractors. We've got a few parts laying over here for the 8R and on the other side for the 8430. I want to put it on these two and that piece, and then we're going to use our tire foam stuff on all the black plastic stuff, and we'll get them all put back together. Even made them shine. Okay, all these pieces can go back on now for both tractors. So these are side shields for the radiator. They go on the side right here. Use these screws. That black piece there is a cover for the exhaust tube, goes in there. There's a cover for that belt on the air conditioning condenser, I believe is what that is. That's this little one right here. Those 2, 3 go on the other side by the battery box, and that one goes on the back panel. Little tire foam on some plastic. She looks pretty darn good. Do we need to wash the outside windows yet, Brock? Yeah, need to do that. I want to tie, I've got that cord, there's the antenna up there is for my two-way radios, and this cord is kind of just hanging there. I want to get some of those clips, basically, sticky things, to zip tie it down a little bit so that they're not just flopping around. But these tractors are pretty well done. Brock's cleaning toolboxes out, and it's lunchtime, so I'm going to go eat lunch. All right, the windows are clean-ish, right, Brock?
Yeah.
There's a few smudges we had to go through and figure out how to get them out, some streaks and stuff. But anyway, last thing I want to do here is these cords. So I've got some of these kind of stick-on square things that you stick a zip tie through there and zip tie the wires to them. So, Brock, get me a can of ether and rags, and we'll use that to clean up real good so that these will stick, and we'll get them zip tied down there somehow. Okay, that is better. One of these wires, the small one, goes up here. It's for my antenna for the two-way radio, and then the other one goes up along here, and it tees into the GPS receiver on the front of the cab. That's to get GPS speed input in position data into the precision monitor that I use in there for planting. So that's what those cables are there for, but that's quite a bit better. So I'll just trim off the zip ties here and we'll be good. Time for a haircut. Okay, these two are done. We're gonna go and see where we're gonna put stuff and try and move some stuff around. We're gonna bring the 8300 into the shop here. I plugged that in a little while ago, so it's warming up. Both of these tractors will be back in the shop at some point this winter, probably shortly. Actually, they'll be in the shop a few times, but we're gonna do tires. So I've made the decision. We're gonna put new rear tires on the 8430. So we're gonna get a set of those coming, and I don't know when they'll be here, but when they wanna do that, we're gonna put new tires on here, just because the tread is pretty well worn. These are shot here. All of these have tubes in them. So when we get the tubes out of one of those, then we'll put it in the tire on this tractor right there that seems to have a slow leak and isn't holding air. But I've decided that the tread on these is good enough to run for at least another year. So we're going to spread out that cost of the tire purchases, because we're talking about $9,000 per tractor to put new tires on the back. So that's my plan. Run those another year, but we got to fix that slow leak that we've got in that one. We're going to put new tires on the 8430. I'm still deciding what exactly we're going to get. I'm looking at the Firestone 23-degree radials is probably what we'll end up with, but we'll see once we make a decision here. So anyway, they're going out of the shop for now. We're bringing something else in. When we're ready to do tires, we'll bring them both back in. So in the back of the shop here, we've got our 8300. This is the one that's going into the shop. We'll see what we got to do to it. It shouldn't be all that much, really. Grain cart's going to stay there. Both planters will be coming through the shop shortly. Probably as soon as we're done with that tractor, we'll bring one of them in. It looks like the bean planter's got to come first, because that's how they're setting here. Question is, can we move this gator, put it over there somehow so we can get both of those tractors in the back here? Maybe. Let's go look in the back shed. So there's our 7520 that we've already done. And you remember when I said Dad was going to get a drop cloth for the 9R? I was not. Apparently he was not joking. He actually covered it up. All right, combine is done. We're going to have to get that sprayer out eventually, but looks like this shed is fairly full. We could get a tractor back here if we need to, but if we can get them back in the back of the shop, that would be better. Yeah. All right, let's see if the 8300 will start. This one's always good for a cold start, and it's fairly chilly today, so it should be a good one. Assuming, of course, the battery's not dead, which it's not. Oh, yeah. Come on. Come on. There we go. All right. Get the door open, get some exhaust smoke out. Well, I was trying to open the door, but apparently our chain jumped a sprocket or something, because it ain't moving. Dang. Chain fault. We'll have to open it manually. Brock got it for us. Pull this one around the front, and then we'll go get those other two, see if we can't make them fit in there. According to that, we've got about 97 hours on this tractor this year. I'll double check the filters to make sure that jives with when we change the oil and everything, but if that's the case, we probably don't need to change engine oil. Oh man, it's so pretty. Beautiful. So is that one. Alright, Brock dropped a bolt when we were doing some stuff earlier. It was under the tires. We're just getting that put back in and tightened up. And then we'll move these out of here. Okay, this one tucked pretty nicely back in here. A little tight there, but that's okay. I'm sure this other one will fit. And we'll back this one in. I did check the monitor on that one to make sure that I had reset the service hours on it. I did. I don't think I've done the 8430 yet, so we'll do that before he shuts it off. Tight, but we're gonna make it. All right, I think he's in now. Check around the front. Yep, that's in. All right, tucked away for the winter, or for the next week or two. I think we found the problem with our door opener. We're gonna try and fix it real quick. that roll pin right there has come out. So we gotta pound it back in. We gotta get it lined up. All right. Okay, well, I got it lined up and pounded that pin back in. I can't quite get it all the way. What do you think? Will it last another 10, 15 years? However long this door's been here? Close enough. All right. It should be good. I'm gonna close it and stand here and spray these chains down with some spray lube while I'm up here. Okay, well, after that pin popped out, it threw off our limits on the opener, so it wasn't opening and closing right, so I had to adjust all of that, but we got it, so it's good to go. Let's take the forklift back to the front, Brock. All right, well, we got the old 8300 in the shop. We're just checking the hours. 7,047 on this tractor, and according to our oil filter, we were at 6847, which means we are at 200 even on the oil, and 1.5 years, which means we're going to change the engine oil on this. I'll have to look at the other filters and everything and see what we did last year. Obviously, we did not change engine oil on this last year because we did not have it in here in September. We had it in here in March, I believe, or April. So anyway, we'll go through it. We'll clean it up a little bit. This won't take that much. We might even get this one done this week yet. It is Monday. I mean, we should get it done this week. Fuel filter's got a few hours on it, 6644, so that's got 400 hours. Yep, that one needs changed. All right, Brock's changing oil here, getting it drained. I'm gonna come over here and do the fuel filter while he's working on that. It's the square one here. That's not too terribly hard to do. So the right way to do this is to actually take this little screw out and drain it. But I'm gonna bet that I can do it without spilling too much. Like that. This one's still full, but changed. It's just got them 3 holes that slide onto some pegs, and that's it. All right, so I got that fuel filter changed. I also changed engine oil filter right here. Brock is doing the fuel pre-filter, strainer, or whatever you want to call it there. And I was just looking in the book, and on this tractor, the hydraulic oil interval is still 1,500 hours. We're at about 700 hours on that, but the filters, it recommends changing at 750. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now, change the hydraulic oil filter, but we're not gonna do the oil. So that filter is somewhere up under there, I believe. I should get a cab kit for this, fix that mess. Problem is, this tractor just doesn't see enough use to justify spending a ton of money on stuff. Not that that's really that expensive, but it's also not really that big of a deal, so it just gets left and we live with it. All right, so now that we changed the fuel strainer and the fuel filter, you have to prime them. This tractor here, no electric fuel pump to prime everything. So right over here, there's a little fuel primer. You start pumping and pumping and pumping until eventually you get some resistance and it's full. We should make Brock do this. Yeah, so we're gonna have to trade this tractor before it needs engine oil changed again. I'm filling in the last block. Oh, not the 21st, it's the 11th of 21. 11, 21. Can't change oil anymore, there's nowhere to write it down. All right, we're going to change that hydraulic oil filter. It's up there, and we're going to watch the oil pour on Brock probably. I don't know, we'll see. You got a catch can, Brock?
broken loose.
Huh?
I don't even know if I can get it broken loose.
Oh, it'll come loose. Okay. I'd stop there before you get a pail. Let her drain. Okay. Trade him. Oh, look, he got it all dirty. Oh, man. It's all right. That's why we service before we wash. Because then we can clean all this stuff up from the oil and stuff that gets all over it. All right, spin that on. So we weren't quite to 750 hours on this. But look at that date, 4/15 of 15. It's when the hydraulic oil was last changed in this filter. So we'll just go ahead and do that after almost 6 years. Putting oil back in, 26.4 quarts on this one. The thickness of the book's changed a little bit in 15 years. Not so much there, but this is the 8300 book, 1995. 8430 book, 2009. 8335, 2012. Those ones are about the same. This one here, though, yeah, they've added a little bit. Of course, then there's the combine book. All right, oil's back in it, and the service work is pretty well done here. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up again. I'm really curious. So I ceramic coated this tractor also back in, like, I don't know, April, and it didn't get near as much use or sit outside as much as those other ones did. So let's see. Nope, not much better. Dang, I was really hoping that would beat up. It cleans up nice. It still looks really good. The paint looks great on it. But no beating. So I don't really want to power wash today and get this all cleaned up. So we thinking of what else we can do, and checking the hub oils is something. And judging by that, this one may be seeping a little bit, although that could be just grease from the grease in the joints in there, the U-joints and the knuckle. But yeah, this tractor's a whole lot easier to check hub oil because, look, there's no dual you got to take off. So you just start it up and roll it until it's in the right spot. Although, you can't just roll it. So, we're not quite level. Just, oh yeah, it's got oil in it. For sure. So that one's good. Okay, well that was easy. Looks like we could use just a bit of hydraulic oil. That sight gauge there is low. So Brock's gonna do that. And then we're gonna call it a night. And we'll work on this some more tomorrow. One other thing I did want to address, I don't have those two tractors in here now, obviously, but after my comparison video the other day, some people pointed out that there was a lot more front weights on the 8R than the 8430. And that's because the 8R does have a little bit more horsepower. So we ordered it with them. Honestly, I think that the 8430 could use a little bit more front weight because when we pull those planters and stuff, they're heavy, and a lot of rear weight on them and counterbalance, I guess. And so the front weight helps keep the tires on the ground so you can turn and steer. We do use that 3-point anhydrous bar we've been using with the 8R, and so that's a heavy thing, and you need the front weight to keep the tires on the ground on the front, which we haven't been doing with the 8430 as much anymore. I will take some of the rear weights, wheel weights off of the 8R for planting. It's again kind of like the 9R where you add them for tillage and things that you need it for, but take them off when you don't. And so realistically, they should be weighted a little bit more similarly, but the 8R does have a little bit more horsepower. The more horsepower you need, the more weight that you need to keep good traction and everything with your ground contact. So that's why. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Finished filling this up, and we're both going home. Well, I'm going to go work on the computer for a little bit. Tomorrow, we'll work on this tractor some more. I've got some errands to run in the morning, so it might be early afternoon before we really get started on much. I'll see how things are going. And then at some point this week, I need to do a little seed sales run, so I might take a day off from videoing, and we'll go from there. But last tractor to come through the shop. As soon as this one is done, I think we're going to bring a planter in. What I should do is go work on that project over there in the corner, but we got to get the farm equipment done first, which means that project is going to have to move because the planter is going to need to take up some of that space. So we'll see, but that is my plan moving forward here. So questions, comments, leave them down below, and if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe to the channel for me, please. Appreciate it, and we'll see you guys probably tomorrow.